Have you ever pondered what wealth truly means? It's a question that many of us ask ourselves, yet few of us genuinely take the time to consider. Take a moment, right here and now, to think about it. What comes to mind when you think about wealth? Is it a multitude of shiny gold coins, stacked high, reflecting the bright lights of opulence? Or is it the sight of crisp banknotes, freshly printed and bearing the mark of governments, institutions that seemingly hold the secrets to immense wealth? But what if I were to suggest something different? What if I were to propose that the concept of wealth isn't confined to these physical manifestations? That it extends far beyond mere coins and banknotes, into realms you may not have considered before? It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Consider this. Imagine a world where wealth is not defined by tangible assets, but rather by intangible ones. In this world, the wealthiest people are not those who possess the most material goods, but those who possess the most valuable resources: knowledge, relationships, health, and time. In this world, a person rich in knowledge is one who constantly seeks to learn and grow, who values education and intellectual growth above all else. They understand that knowledge is the one asset that can never be taken away, the one investment that always pays off. They know that the more they learn, the wealthier they become. Similarly, a person rich in relationships is one who understands the value of human connection. They are the ones who recognize that no amount of money can buy genuine friendships or loving family ties. They invest time and energy into nurturing relationships, knowing that these connections are the true wealth of life. A person wealthy in health is one who appreciates the vital importance of physical and mental well-being. They know that without health, all the money in the world means nothing. They invest in their well-being, understanding that a healthy body and a sound mind are the true indicators of wealth. Lastly, consider a person rich in time. They understand that time is the most valuable commodity of all. They are the ones who have learned to manage their time wisely, to prioritize what truly matters, and to make the most of each moment. In this world, wealth is not measured by the size of one's bank account, but by the richness of one's life experiences, the depth of one's understanding, the strength of one's relationships, and the vitality of one's health. So, I ask you again, have you ever pondered what wealth truly means? It's more than just an academic question. It's a question that could fundamentally shift your perspective, alter your priorities, and change your life. It's a question that invites you to look beyond the superficial, to delve deeper, to question your preconceived notions, and to redefine what wealth means to you. What if it was suggested that wealth isn't just about coins and banknotes? Intriguing, isn't it? Picture this: a world where the perception of money goes far beyond paper and metal. This is not a world of fantasy or science fiction, but a world that exists here and now. It's a world that has evolved, changed, and adapted with the passing of the centuries. A world that is as real as the air we breathe and the ground we walk on. This world we speak of, it is a curious one. Money, in its traditional sense, is made up of paper and metal. Yet it's not just the tangible bills and coins that make up the world's wealth. Money has many faces. It's the cash in your pocket, yes, but it's also the digital transactions happening at lightning speed across the globe. It's the assets, the investments, the properties, and even the unseen of a budding entrepreneur. In this world, the concept of money has expanded to dimensions never imagined before. It takes the form of credits on a card, digits in a bank account, electronic transactions processed in a flash of time. It's a world where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. A world where wealth is not just about the tangible, but also about the intangible. A world where every transaction, every exchange has a value assigned to it. Have you ever stopped and looked around, felt awed by the towering structures that scrape the sky? These buildings that speckle our cityscapes, they too are another embodiment of money. They represent investments, the promise of future returns, a tangible representation. Look around at the cars that zoom past. Each one is a product of human creativity and thousands of hours of labor, all of which is quantified in terms of money. Think about the products we purchase and the services we avail. Every item you pick off a supermarket shelf, every online service you subscribe to, they are all part of this intricate web of money. Every purchase represents an exchange, an allocation of value from one hand to another. And this value is represented by money. And yet, amidst wealth, there's a section of the world's population that hasn't been able to tap into this abundance. The poor, those who lack not just the physical manifestations of wealth, but also the understanding of its true nature. They look around but cannot see the wealth that surrounds them. They see the buildings, the cars, but they don't see the money. To them, money remains an elusive entity, something that they chase but can never truly grasp. They see the world's wealth, but they do not understand it. They see the exchange of goods and services, but they don't perceive the underlying of money. They see the buildings and cars, but they fail to understand the investments and labor that brought them into existence. But remember, this is a world where the perception of money goes far beyond paper and metal. A world where the poor still haven't realized that the world is brimming with money. Look around. See all the buildings that have been erected, the cars that have been manufactured, the products and services sold. Money is everywhere, but to the poor, it remains elusive. The poor continue to believe that money exists only in coins and bills. This simple yet significant misunderstanding of the money concept by the less privileged ironically binds them to the very cycle of poverty that they strive to break away from. They perceive of money as an end in itself, as the silver and gold coins or the greenback bills they can touch and feel. However, this conception of money is woefully inadequate in capturing the true essence of what money really is. Money, in its most fundamental sense, is nothing more than a symbol, a representation. It is a construct of the human mind, designed to facilitate the exchange of goods and services in society, making it easier for individuals to acquire the things they need or desire. Let's consider a time before money, when barter was the principal means of trade. In such a scenario, wanted to acquire a plough but only had apples to exchange, he would have to find someone who not only possesses a plough but also desires apples. This clearly was an inefficient and cumbersome way to conduct trade. The invention of money was a revolution that simplified this process. Money, in the form of coins or bills, is universally accepted in exchange for any goods or services. This meant the farmer could sell his apples to anyone for money, and then use that money to buy a plough from anyone who had one to sell. Money, therefore, is not wealth in itself, but a tool, a medium that simplifies the exchange of real wealth. Yet there's an important angle to this goes unnoticed. Money in itself is unproductive. A pile of coins or bills will remain the same irrespective of how long you let it sit. It won't grow, produce, or yield anything on its own. It is, in its raw form, stagnant. The real power of money lies in its use, in the way it is circulated, invested, and multiplied. Imagine money as a river. Its value lies not in hoarding it in a stagnant pool, but letting it flow, irrigating lands, powering industries, and nourishing life along its course. This is the fundamental money that the poor struggle to grasp. They cling to the tangible physical representation of money, the coins and bills. They hoard it, thinking that the more they have of it, the wealthier they are. This is a tragic illusion that hinders their progress. They don't realize that the real value of money comes from its use, from being put to work and fruitful, from being invested in education, health, and well-being, from being leveraged to build and create things of real worth. So let's reiterate. Money is not wealth. It is a means to acquire wealth, and to fully harness its power, one must use it wisely and productively. Investing money, rather than hoarding it, allows it to grow, to wealth, and in turn, break the chains of poverty. Having money in itself means nothing if it's not being utilized to create value. This perspective shift, from seeing money as an end to understanding it as a means, is crucial. It is the first step out of poverty, the first rung on the ladder to prosperity. It is a lesson that society must strive to impart to its less fortunate members, to empower them, to liberate them from the shackles of their misconceptions, and to pave the way for their financial independence. Money is a medium of exchange. It's a tool created for use. It serves to be exchanged for things with real value. They fail to realize that millionaires don't keep their money in the bank or in cash, but in assets. This is a fundamental truth that lies at the heart of their financial success. Those individuals who have amassed fortunes in the millions have a much different approach to handling their finances than the average individual. Their focus is not on hoarding wealth, but instead on investing in assets. They understand the power and potential of assets to generate income and increase their wealth exponentially. The concept of keeping money in the bank is a common practice for most people. They believe it to be a safe and secure way to store their hard-earned money. But millionaires, they think differently. They see the bank not as a storage facility of wealth, but more as a temporary transit point for their money on its journey towards asset acquisition. They realize that keeping money dormant in a bank account does not lend itself to growth, but rather, it simply sits idle. It's like a seed that remains in a packet, never sown, never given the chance to grow and flourish. On the contrary, when they invest their money into assets, their wealth begins to work for them. It starts to multiply in ways that simply storing it in a bank could never achieve. It's like taking that in fertile soil and watching as it grows into a towering tree. Through the acquisition of assets, they are able to put their wealth to work, creating more wealth in the process. This is the cycle of prosperity that millionaires understand and use to their advantage. Furthermore, the kind of assets that millionaires invest in are diverse. They could be tangible assets like real estate, gold, and other precious metals, fine art, or they could be intangible assets like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. Each of these assets have their own risk and reward profile, but they all serve the same purpose: to make the money work, to generate more money. They give their money a productive use and use it for the purpose it was created, to exchange it for things. For millionaires, money is not an end in itself, but rather a means to an end. They see money as a tool that can be used to acquire the things they need or want. Whether it's buying a new home, investing in a business venture, or purchasing a piece of art, they use their money to facilitate these exchanges. But perhaps what is most interesting is their understanding of the function of money. They comprehend that money is not a static entity, but rather a dynamic one. Money is not just a stack of physical cash or numbers in a bank account. It is a medium of exchange, a means to facilitate transactions, a tool to acquire that they need or desire. In essence, millionaires perceive money differently than most. They understand that it is not something to be hoarded, but rather something to be used and invested. They know the value of money lies not in its quantity, but in its quality, in its ability to work and produce more wealth. They see money as a tool, a medium of exchange, a way to acquire assets and increase their wealth. Money is only a medium of exchange. The poor can't see the wealth that's right under their noses, an unfortunate truth that is often ignored or overlooked. They are surrounded by the manifestations of wealth, by the towering skyscrapers that scrape the clouds, by the shimmering glass of the corporate offices, by the thrumming energy of the metropolitan cities. Yet, to them, these symbols of affluence seem to exist in another realm, tantalizingly close, but hopelessly out of reach. Their perception of wealth is influenced by their daily struggles, the quest for basic necessities, food, shelter, clothing. Their world is defined by the hard clink of coins, by the crumpled feel of bills. Money in their world is not an abstract concept symbolized by digits on a computer screen. No, it is something tangible, something that needs to be felt, to be held. It is the coppery taste of pennies, the silver sheen of nickels, the crinkled texture of dollar bills. Don't they realize that money is not just tender, but also an instrument with which dreams are built? Take buildings, for example. Aren't buildings the epitome of mankind's dreams and achievements, standing tall against the city skyline, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance? The mere sight of these structures should remind them of the potential of wealth, of the dreams that it can manifest. Buildings are not just erected, they are built with money, with investment, with dreams. Every brick laid, every pane of glass installed, every coat of paint applied, is a representation of the money that has been invested. The architectural marvels that dot our cities, the humble homes that shelter us, the schools that educate our children, the hospitals that heal, they all require money. Money that is not just in the form of coins and bills, but is an investment in the potential of humanity. Yet, for the poor, the connection between money and these constructed marvels does not seem apparent. They look at these buildings, at these structures, and all they see is concrete and glass. They might appreciate the aesthetics, the design, the grandeur, but the underlying financial implication is lost on them. They fail to realize that each brick, each beam, each window is a testament to the money that has been invested. This is not due to lack of intelligence or awareness. It is rather a consequence of their circumstances. The harsh reality of poverty can often obscure the broader perspective. The pressing needs of the present can often eclipse the potential of the future. Yet, if they could just shift their perspective, if they could just look beyond the immediate, they might see the wealth that's right under their noses. They might see that money is not just coins and bills, but a tool with which dreams can be built. A tool that can transform concrete and glass into homes and offices. A tool that can turn dreams into reality. Don't they know that buildings require money? Money is not seen with the eyes. It's not about the physical notes and coins that we hold in our hands or that we see in our bank accounts. Money, in its true essence, is a symbol, a representation of value. It's an idea, a notion, the manifestation of an agreement among individuals and societies that this piece of paper, this digital number, holds a certain amount of worth. The rich, the affluent, do not perceive money in the same way as the rest of us do. They have a different approach, an altered perspective. They see beyond the immediate, the visible, the tangible. They understand that money is not just an entity to be hoarded, but a resource to be utilized, a tool to be wielded. Indeed, the rich do not keep their money in cash. Why, you might ask? The answer lies in understanding the nature of cash. Cash, by its very design, is static. It doesn't grow, it doesn't change, it doesn't add value unless it's put to use. It's like a seed. A seed that remains unplanted is just a seed, but a seed that's sown, watered, and nurtured grows into a plant, bearing fruits, multiplying its worth. Hence, the affluent do not keep their wealth lying idle in cash. They invest. They put their money in tangible assets. They buy land, property, businesses, stocks, bonds, and commodities. They put their money into vehicles that can potentially grow, multiply, and add value over time. However, this doesn't mean that they are reckless with their wealth. On the contrary, the rich are often more frugal than most people perceive them to be. They understand the value of money, the effort it takes to earn it, and the responsibility that comes with it. So they don't just invest blindly, they study the markets, they learn about the assets they invest in, they assess the risks and the potential returns, they consult with experts and make informed decisions. They diversify their investments to spread the risk, and they monitor their assets regularly to ensure they're growing as expected. This strategy, this approach to money, is what differentiates the rich from the rest. They don't just work for money, they make their money work for them. Their philosophy is not just about earning and spending, but also about saving and investing. It's not just about increasing their wealth, but also about preserving and growing it. It's not just about living a luxurious life today, but also about securing a comfortable future. They understand that cash is a means to an end, and not the end itself. Cash is important, yes, but it's only a small part of the bigger picture. It's a stepping stone, a launchpad to greater things. It's the starting point of the journey, not the destination. The rich understand that money is a tool, a resource. They know how to use it, how to manipulate it, how to manage it. They see the potential in money, the opportunities it presents. They don't let money control them, they control money. They master it, they command it, they steer it in the direction they want. And that, my friends, is the secret to wealth. It's not just about earning more, but also about managing better. It's not just about having money, but also about knowing what to do with it. It's not just about seeing money with the eyes, but also about understanding it with the mind. Because in the end, money is not seen with the eyes. The rich keep their money in tangible assets, not in cash, as that makes no sense. The poor need to learn that money is simply a value. It's a term, a concept, an abstract idea that humanity has developed and agreed upon to drive our society. Money, in its essence, is just a tool. It's a tool that we use to measure the worth of things. It's a tool that we use to exchange goods and services. It's a tool that facilitates transactions, and in doing so, it keeps the engine of our economy running. Money is not just a physical entity. It's not just the coins that jingle in our pockets or the paper notes that we fold and keep in our wallets. It's not just the numbers that flash on the screen when we check our bank accounts. In the bigger picture, money is a reflection of the energy, the effort, the time, and the skills that we inject into our work. It's the symbol of our productivity. It's the manifestation of our contribution to society. The poor need to understand that money is simply a proxy. It's a stand-in, a symbol, a representative of value. And value, in itself, is a subjective concept. What may seem valuable to one person may be worthless to another. The value of a thing is not fixed, it's not absolute. It's determined by various factors: supply and demand, quality, rarity, desirability, utility, and so on. The wealthy have understood this concept. They've grasped the essence of money. They've learned to see beyond the superficialities, beyond the surface. They've learned to see money for what it truly is: a means to an end, not an end in itself. They've learned to use money, not to hoard it. They've learned to leverage money, not to be enslaved by it. The rich see money as a tool to acquire assets. They understand that the real power of money lies not in its accumulation, but in its distribution. They know that money, like water, needs to flow to stay fresh. They know that money, like blood, needs to circulate to keep the body healthy. They know that stagnant money, like stagnant water, breeds disease and decay. The wealthy don't just exchange their money for things, they exchange their money for things of even higher value. They invest their money in real assets: properties, businesses, stocks, bonds, precious metals, artwork, cryptocurrencies, and so on. They buy things that appreciate in value, things that generate income, things that secure their future. They understand that money, in itself, is volatile. They know that money, in itself, is susceptible to inflation and devaluation. They know that money, in itself, provides no security. They know that the only real security comes from real assets. They know that the only lasting wealth comes from the ownership of these assets. The wealthy understand that the ultimate goal is not to accumulate money, but to accumulate assets. They understand that the journey to wealth is not a sprint, but a marathon. They understand that wealth is not a destination, but a journey. They understand that wealth is not about having, but about becoming. They understand that wealth is not about possessing, but about investing. They understand that wealth is not about counting money, but about making money count. They understand that wealth is not about the size of their bank account, but about the size of their asset portfolio. They understand that wealth is not about the money they earn, but about the money they keep. They understand that wealth is not about the money they spend, but about the money they invest. In the end, the poor need to learn that money is simply a value, and the rich exchange their money for things of even higher value, real assets. Imagine surrounding yourself with beautiful things. It's a feeling that transcends the ordinary, a sensation that goes beyond the mundane. It is an invitation to embrace the elegance of life, to breathe in the sweet taste of luxury, and to immerse your senses in a world of charm and sophistication. Start your journey by taking a leisurely drive through that lovely neighborhood where you've always dreamt of living. Let your eyes drift over the rows of elegant houses, each one a testament to architectural beauty and personal taste. Notice how the morning sun reflects off the pristine white walls, the manicured lawns in the dew-bathed morning light. Each house, a story. Each story, a lifetime of dreams and ambitions. Take in the harmony of the streets, the way the trees arch overhead, their branches meeting and parting like old lovers. Hear the soft whisper of the wind as it rustles through the leaves, carrying with it the scent of freshly cut grass and blooming flowers. As you continue your drive, let your route take you past that avenue brimming with majestic corporate buildings. They stand tall and proud, their gleaming glass facades reflecting the clear blue sky. Each building, a symbol of human ambition and progress, where dreams are turned into reality and ideas into innovation. Marvel at the imposing structures, each one a testament to the power of human ingenuity, and the relentless of success. Here, industry leaders, visionaries, and pioneers have walked these halls, shaping the world with their ideas and dreams. As the sunlight hits these towering edifices, they sparkle and shimmer, reflecting the vibrancy and dynamism that pulses within their walls. From there, steer your path towards the dealership of your favorite car brand. Walk around the well-lit showroom. Let your hand glide over the smooth, cool surface of the latest models. Admire the sleek chassis, the glossy paintwork, the gleaming chrome. Each model a work of art, each art a testament to and precision, a testament to the marriage of beauty and functionality. Step inside one of these mechanical marvels. Feel the softness of the leather seats, the comforting grip of the steering wheel. Imagine the power beneath the hood, the purring engine ready to propel you to new adventures. Each car, a symbol of freedom and mobility, a testament to the spirit of exploration and discovery. Lastly, allow yourself a treat by dining occasionally in elegant restaurants. Immerse yourself in the soft, ambient lighting and the gentle murmur of conversation. Marvel at the rich tapestry of flavors that dance across your palate, the delicate balance of tastes and ingredients. Each dish, a culinary journey, each journey, an adventure in taste. Savor the tender meat, the crisp vegetables, the velvety sauces. Enjoy the artistry of the presentation, the thoughtful pairings of food and wine. Each bite, a symphony of taste. Each taste, a reminder of the beauty and diversity of life's culinary pleasures. So let yourself be swept away journey of sensory delights. Celebrate the beauty that surrounds us, the elegance that we often overlook in our daily lives. Because life is, after all, meant to be lived in all its splendor and grandeur. Imagine surrounding yourself with beautiful things. Drive through that lovely neighborhood where you'd like to live. Pass by that avenue full of corporate buildings. Visit the dealership of your favorite car brand and look at all the models they have. Dine occasionally in elegant restaurants. When you surround yourself with all the things that have been made with money, which is practically everything, you'll realize that money is everywhere. It's not just about the tangible objects that you can physically hold or touch. No, it goes much deeper than that. It's the infrastructure that supports the very fabric of our society, the systems and structures that are put in place to ensure the smooth operation of our daily lives. Take a moment to consider all the different facets of our lives that money has touched. Consider the roads and bridges that crisscross the nation, facilitating the transport of goods and people from one location to another. Each concrete slab, each iron rod, each piece of asphalt was purchased with money. Every worker who toiled under the blazing sun or freezing cold to lay down these roads was compensated with money. Think about your home, the place where you live, relax, and feel safe. This haven was built with money. Each brick, each tile, each wooden beam represents an expenditure. The comfort of your home, the warmth of your hearth, the security of your door, all bought with money. Money has also permeated our educational system. The school building where you perhaps spent a good chunk of your childhood was constructed and maintained with money. Each desk, each book, each computer was bought with money. The teachers who imparted knowledge and wisdom were paid with money. The sports equipment you used, the field trips you went on, the art supplies you utilized, all made possible by the power of money. Consider the food you eat every day, the farmers who toiled in the fields, the packers who sorted and packed the produce, the truck drivers who transported it, the grocery store clerks who stocked the shelves, all paid with money. Each bite you take represents an expenditure, a transaction, a testament to the omnipresence of money. Our healthcare system, too, is sustained by money. From the hospitals and clinics where we seek treatment to the medicines and therapies that restore our health, every aspect of our well-being is financed by money. The doctors